Mojo Fantasy Week 11 props. Let's get into them. We got a lot of great games, and I think let's start off with a game that could be a shootout. It's the Chargers at the Packers.
You said could be what?
It could be a shootout.
Are the Packers capable of that?
Oh, yes, they could be in a shootout.
That's why I was like curious on that.
And you know what? Because you're disrespecting the Packers right now, I'm going Jordan Love over 219.5 passing yards. I think he's going to smash that. Last 2 games, he's went over that. I think Jordan Love against Chargers defense, that secondary is very vulnerable. He goes over that as well.
All right,
he's actually went over it the last 3 matchups, last 3 games.
Okay. All right. Austin Eckler, anytime. You can just assume that that's going to be the case. He is a touchdown machine. But you know what, Joel? I'm going to stay on the Packers side of things in terms of putting money where my mouth is. I'm going to go Aaron Jones over 50.5 rushing yards. The Chargers' rush defense still is not good. It's been a liability. So I'm anticipating that without any type of restrictions on Aaron Jones, he should have himself a good ball game.
Fresh over 4 touchdown, 1 interception game, 323 yards against that allegedly good Detroit Lions defense. I expect
Allegedly,
Justin
right.
Herbert to come in here and do the same thing against Green Bay, and I got his over on his passing TDs, 1.5. Yeah, I know how I get. There's no unders in my book. It's straight overs, and I feel like Justin Herbert's going to have a big time game. The week before last week, he also had 3 touchdowns. He didn't play well against the Jets, but they didn't need to do too much. But 3 touchdowns that week, 4 touchdowns the week before last week. So I think he's going to have a big-time week.
Cardinals at Texans, Mojo Fantasy player props. The Texans are red hot, but the Cardinals got Kyler Murray back. What props are you going with?
So, for me, I'm looking at a Kyler Murray big-time game, and I saw the fact that they had his touchdowns at 0.5, which means he has to score 1 passing touchdown. I feel like last week he was getting himself acclimated, getting himself back to weather. So now I got Kyler Murray over 0.5 passing touchdowns, which means he just has to score 1 passing touchdown. Once again, I'm an over merchant. I don't go under.
All right, my selection is going to be Trey McBride over 52.5 receiving yards versus the Houston Texans. Right now, they rank 28th in terms of yards allowed, points allowed, fantasy football, to the tight end position. And with Trey McBride, 2 of the last 3 weeks, he has cleared that mark very easily. 1 game, 95 yards, and just this past week, 131 yards. This was Kyler Murray's first game back, and Trey McBride and him had an immediate connection. Going up against Houston, who does not cover the tight end well, I anticipate that Trey McBride hits 50.5 easy.
I was going to go with a similar prop, but I'm going to change it up, and I'm going to go with Tank Dell over 4.5 receptions. C.J. Stroud loves targeting Tank Dell. Tank Dell has been such an impressive rookie for them. And I think another line I might take too, I'm feeling juicy, is I'm taking C.J. Stroud over 1.5 passing touchdowns. So I'm going with 2 props, Tank Dell over 4.5 receptions and C.J. over 1.5 passing touchdowns. On to the next game we going to talk about. It's up to y'all, really. You want to go Cowboys, Panthers, Seattle, Rams? What do you think?
Let's go Chicago, Detroit.
Chicago, Detroit.
Yeah, let me go first.
I didn't see
Go
that.
ahead, Cook.
They disrespected Twin.
They did.
They told Twin he was a bust.
They did.
They put Tyson Badgett over Twin.
They did.
How will you respond, Twin?
Talk to him.
He's going to respond with over on his passing yards, man. 204.5. It's been a while since he's been back. It's 11 touchdowns still, beating a lot of top quarterbacks, some of your favorite quarterbacks too, not to mention. But then, of course, another one.
You got to look at that camera, bro. It's that
A
camera.
lot of your favorite quarterbacks. I pointed at the screen because I'm looking at a lot of your favorite quarterbacks for sure. And then another one, thank you, Drew, because nobody else was going to help me but you. So thank you.
I love you.
The guy not doing anything wasn't going to
No, for real. What has he done? What has he done?
And then another one, of course, they got his touchdowns at 0.5. He's easily going over. I expect Justin Fields to have a big game, a big-time game to show people why he's one of them ones.
0.5 passing touchdowns is disrespectful to Justin Fields. That is the lock of the week. Mojo allowing this is crazy.
I was thinking, I don't even think I got to say a prop because I think Riv said it all, but this prop right here looks so juicy. Jahmyr Gibbs over 30.5 rushing yards. Jahmyr Gibbs been stringing together some good back-to-back weeks.
Rush defense, sneaky good.
They have been sneaky good.
Right now, they rank number 2 in EPA per play, rush EPA per play.
That's good. I'm going to trust Jahmyr Gibbs in our offensive line.
I don't blame you. I'm just stating something that shocked me because in terms of fantasy points, the Bears give up a ton of points to running backs. So for that to be the case, and you see the statistics, and recently they've been doing a good job.
You going with a prop for this?
That's it. I'm going Justin Fields over 0.5. I mean, that's irresponsible that is a prop that we're allowed to take. This Detroit Lions secondary has not been good. And Justin Fields, like Rose said, was one of the league leaders in touchdown passes before his injury. Going up against the secondary, he should put on a light show.
Now, the last game we are going to do a prop for. Vikings at Broncos, Monday night football.
Sunday night football.
Oh, Sunday night football. Vikings at Broncos, Sunday night football. Drew, you think the Broncos will win this game?
Oh, most definitely we will win this game. That's not a concern in my heart at all. But when it comes to these props, I think it's going to be a big defensive matchup, believe it or not. Russ has been able to do a job, but again, it hasn't resulted in the most beautiful statistical stat line when it comes to yards. He gets into the end zone, which is why I'm going to take his over on touchdowns, 1.5. I think that he's going to be able to do so. He's been one of the league leaders in touchdowns. I believe he's top 5 in passing touchdowns this season. He's been awesome. He's been having a rejuvenation to his career this season. I think that continues going up against Minnesota Vikings.
193, 114, 194, 95, 196. Those are his last 5 to 6 games. Hammer the under. Hammer the under on his passing
yard.
Over king.
This is the over king.
This is the first under the year, history. And I'm going to under on Russell Wilson's passing yards. Not even because Russ hasn't been playing well. Just he doesn't really do too much in the passing. Like you mentioned, he gets in the end zone. He trusts that running game. He gets there. He scores the touchdowns. I don't think he's going to do too much in the passing game. And plus, his Vikings defense is tough. So I got his under on the passing yards for sure.
Right now on Mojo Fantasy, they don't have any line for TJ Hawkinson, but just know whatever line that is in receptions, I'm taking that line over because TJ Hawkinson has been that great for the Minnesota Vikings.